Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Big Tech Frenzy. In today's video, we're talking PayPal, we're talking Google, Tesla, NVIDIA, artificial intelligence in general, SOFI, the list goes on and on. Nubank, almost forgot. So let's jump into some of the news. As we go through, we can ask a bunch of questions, everything like this. We'll do a little bit of Q&A as we go along, like usual, and just have a, great time. So in terms of the day, this was, as of today, the first real earnings day for me. 2 Mag 7 names, ServiceNow, IBM, T-Mobile, it was the whole 9 yards, right? And then as we go through, now we're going to start seeing some really big names. Intel tomorrow. Really, there's only 3 big names that you're going to have to focus, or 3 big days a week that you're going to have to focus on. Mostly that's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For next week, after this, we have SoFi, PayPal, and Spotify on Tuesday morning. I'll be live for that. It'll be hard listening to both. I care very much about SoFi and what PayPal has to do. Longtime viewers of the channel will know that we had quite a significant position on PayPal for quite a turnaround play, and Alex Chris has been doing a good job, but I was hoping for a quicker turnaround in terms of the way that the sentiment has changed, not necessarily how fast they've been able to turn around the business itself, but just the sentiment of investors. UNH obviously is going to be a massive name next week as well. We have Visa, Starbucks, Marathon Digital, Booking Holdings, EA, Cheesecake Factory. Here, 1 second. Steve, I'm live. You're talking to a podcast right now.
Did you listen to the Tesla conference call?
I did listen. I thought it was, well, you tell me what you think. I thought it was terrible.
I thought Elon sounded sedated.
He did.
I just called him Mitt. He didn't pick up. Like, I know you, the two of you are the only people that I know that actually listen to it. Like, he freaking sounded so sedated, it's scary.
He sounded pretty defeated for sure. I mean,
I don't know if it was defeated, sedated. He did not sound like himself. Monotone, robot talk, just, my shares cannot get called away quick enough at this point.
And how are they going to get called away? You have covered calls on them right now?
Yeah, it's either 260s or 265s for September.
Oh, okay, got you. And you're just going to let them go?
Yeah, I have no interest in. I mean, look, if for some reason the stock rebounds and goes to 350, which I don't see how it can do, I will then look at the chain and see if I can roll for a month or two and make some more money and then let them get called away. I have no interest in being a shareholder at this point. I really don't.
I want to be a shareholder of Tesla long term. They're like Robotaxi. I don't really believe the timeline that he said. End of year, end of year. They're going to have half the U.S. population in terms of the cities that they're in. I don't believe that. That sounds like a hard goal.
Good luck with that.
But it is coming. I don't know about the timeline, but it is coming. Humanoid robotics, I have full belief in. So
I got a hot take for you.
What's that?
I'm changing my view on that.
Okay.
And Amazon is going to be one of the most important companies in humanoid robotics. They may even be more important than Tesla.
Dude, I'm 100% on that train, but it doesn't mean that Tesla is not there as well.
Agreed. I agree. But at this point, you look at what happened with AWS. They built AWS as a solution for their own computing needs and turned it into a gigantic business. They have automated their factories out of necessity, and they have built robotics out of necessity. They're going to figure out a way to monetize that, cross-sell to their competitors, and create personalized robotic devices for Amazon consumer clients.
So you think
full steam Amazon?
So because Amazon also has just a much less aggressive valuation, that's the better pick right now as well?
I would be buying, if I was going to allocate new capital to the Mag 7 right now, Alphabet would be my first choice, followed by Amazon, Meta, and NVIDIA. no specific order.
You didn't? Did you listen to Google's call?
Only a small portion. I actually read through the numbers on Alphabet. I'm super happy, and I listened to. I can only pick one to listen to. I listened to Tesla's because I wanted to see what Musk was going to say.
Why did you only listen to one? I listened to both.
Because I had things to do.
All right.
I couldn't even get through the Tesla call. It was so bad. It was like nails on a chalkboard. It was horrible.
Yeah, I said to the viewers that we were going to listen to it, but man, 10 minutes in, I was pretty over it.
It was so bad.
It sounded like the most defeated person talk about how they were going to be the #1 company in the world. I was like, I mean, I'm not one for like sort of taking in that sort of like, oh, you know, what's the tone of their voice and everything? Because at the end of the day, it all written down on a transcript will be the same. But I don't even think the transcript's going to come out eligible because holy crap, he was like, I could barely hear him. It was hard.
He definitely does not believe half the stuff that he said, and he knows that he screwed up picking a fight with the administration. He needs the administration and political cover for robotaxi. I have news for everybody. He needs that.
For robotaxi, but also for the incentives, right? The incentives going away. Like, I don't know if you heard that part where I think it was the CFO said, you know, now's the time to put in your car orders, so make sure you do that. I'm like, is this a car commercial? Why are we doing this on an earnings call?
Yes, it's a car company.
No, a car commercial. A car commercial.
No, but it's a car company.
I get it, but we shouldn't be selling cars to the investors on a live call. Like,
I mean, they're desperate, and
that's what I mean.
They're going to try to milk Q3 for all it's worth because everything goes away in September. And then don't forget the energy subsidiary credits go away in the end of December. All the subsidies go away for energy also.
Yeah, it'll be a hard comp, but
it's the worst comp.
Yeah. Yeah, but dude, I got to get through some of these stories. If you want to hop on the live stream later on, I can send you a link, but that'll be probably closer to 9:30, 9:40, something like that. Or sorry, 8:30, 8:40.
What are you talking about live stream?
I'm live right now.
No, but you're doing another live stream. Why don't you just stay live?
I'm staying live. I just have news to get through. I've got a format that I follow.
What news do you have to get through? This should be good.
PayPal, Google, Tesla. I got to actually go through the numbers, not hear that Steve is sick of Elon.
Wait. Did PayPal do something today?
Last night at 12. Okay, bro, this is part of the stream, man. I'm making
the stream more, interesting for you.
They pushed out a huge new product update. Like big, called PayPal World. It's very big.
PayPal World.
Yeah. They're connecting with 2 billion customers from other fintechs and other payment systems to be able to use PayPal's rails, as well as allowing Venmo and PayPal to be on the same payment system. So you can pay anyone and you can pay anything online with Venmo. So if you see PayPal, for example, and you only have a Venmo account, you can buy whatever you want online. But not only that, you can tap into those other payments companies and buy their things on their shops using PayPal.
Interesting. Did the market react well to PayPal's news?
It's up a little bit.
It's up a little bit. So basically nobody cares.
No one. Okay, bro, this is part of the story. You're taking my live stream away from me. But
of course I am.
No one cares because people are worried about stable coins. That's why no one cares. But
great.
Overall, if payments are able to be sticky, essentially what I was going to say to you guys is that if there's so much network effects to these things, and that's what PayPal has cemented here is 2 billion people on one network. That is sticky. Going over to a new network that doesn't have the customers that you need to pay is a hard ask for even Coinbase and some of these companies to ask for. And I still believe in that, but it means that PayPal is a sticky service. you know? And if they end up lowering costs and consumers feel like even if they pay a small amount, it's worth it because they have all their friends, families, and businesses on it, they're going to stay around.
All right, I like that because I will tell you, as I told Amit, I used Robinhood the other day to buy Ethereum instead of Coinbase because it was significantly cheaper.
Yeah, I agree.
So I agree with that premise.
I agree. I think that you should continue to buy stuff on Robinhood. It's been the bull case.
Well, I am planning on buying more Ethereum on Robinhood, so they will make some money off of that.
Hey, you can still get in before the 30th, which is earnings date for Robinhood.
Yeah, I'm worried about a couple of companies, Robinhood, Palantir, Cloudflare. I'm worried that they've gone too far too quick and that earnings season will not be good for them. Not that they won't put up good numbers. I just think it's going to be sell news for companies that flew high, and I think companies like Alphabet are going to catch a bid. But we'll see.
Yeah. Last question before I let you go. SOFI on earnings goes up or down?
I don't know. It could go up. I mean, they have some tailwinds coming up if the Fed cuts rates. And with what's going to go on with student loans, they could very easily go up. It all depends on what is said on the conference call. But I don't think we're going to get a sell-off the way that we always do.
That's fair. All right.
So, all right, get back to your stream. Send me a link. If I'm around, maybe I'll hop on.
Cool, man. Talk to you later.
Later.
Oh, I love Steve, but I hate holding my arm up like this. It's so tiring. All right. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I feel like we need to do a restart after that. That was like a refresh, but Steve's a great guy. And, we catch up probably 2-3 times a day on the different picks, but he always feels like calling me while I'm live and I can never answer because either, like I was listening to Google's call and I'm like, I can't take this call right now. I'm live listening to a call. GoPro just gained 50%. There's still going to be a lot of these smaller names that continue to run. I'm not necessarily interested in those names. I honestly think that there's so much alpha in the names that people have sort of disregarded that are going to continue to win, like Google, for example. I think tomorrow morning I'm going to buy a little bit more Google. As you guys know, I've been buying Google on the way up since it's been severely sold off from artificial intelligence worries, and this call just completely cleared up all of that. The size of Google Cloud's platform is insane. The speed at which they're growing, 28% year over year, more customers. The amount of customers that have a million or more size deals, they've signed as many as they did in all of 2024 by this point in 2025. So absolutely unbelievable. They are, everything is going towards AI. Search is growing. Not only that, the amount of just search clicks is not going down. They grew 4% year over year. The big worry was that search is actually severely dying, but they're charging so much more, so it offsets the fact that they're actually dying. Not true. They're growing in search, and then they're growing even faster because they are charging more. And then Sundar Pichai cleared that up as well because he said, hey, it's not that we're charging more because we're greedy. We're charging more because the conversion rates are higher because we're using artificial intelligence to make sure that the conversion rates are better. So everything is sort of clicking for them. I'm a big fan. Sentinel-1 plus Okta is a good cybersecurity combo. Ellie, that's interesting. That is interesting. Dookie says Google 210 by Friday. Didn't you call for like 170 whenever it was about to drop today? That's okay. Hey, we get new information. We change our opinions. I'm not. And also, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm connecting you to somebody else. But yeah, I do think that we go a lot higher after that news. The amount of CapEx spend, okay, for companies like Broadcom, AMD, Nvidia, insane. Okay, that gets pushed even higher. Okay. Then what we ended up just seeing today, Trump ends up signing a bunch of new AI bills into law, executive orders that are quite exciting. Let's take a look at that really quickly, and then we can get into some other news really or after this.
Mr. President, the first executive order that we've prepared for your signature today relates to federal permitting for data center infrastructure. As you mentioned during your speech, this is a crucial issue affecting the entire AI industry. What this executive order will do is establish fast-track permitting and ensure that the federal government is working to get data centers approved and through the permitting pipeline as quickly as possible.
Signed.
Okay.
As you said before, sir, it's absolutely essential that American AI models and the American AI industry dominates the future of this industry around the world. What this next executive order will do is promote through various instrumentalities of the federal government the export abroad of American AI models to ensure American AI dominance in the future.
Once again, David Sachs pushing through some of the best bills for markets that, you know, at least in my field for crypto and artificial intelligence. Once again, Donald Trump signing this into law.
Okay.
And lastly, sir, as you said in your speech, we don't want woke AI. We want AI models based on accurate information that give accurate information and accurate answers. This executive order will ensure that when the federal government procures or promotes different AI models, that those AI models are ideologically neutral, that they don't embrace wokeism and critical race theory and all of these terrible theories that have done so much damage to our country.
Okay. Yeah, and I actually think even the last one, regardless of what side that you are on, the point is obviously they're leaning more towards a right-wing basis in the commentary that he's saying. But really, what it should stand for both sides is that AI models are neutral, right? I think that's absolutely key. So far, I'm actually loving everything that's been coming out lately. The tariff announcements that we've been expecting have been much lower than people would have originally thought. We're getting large American investment. We're getting, you know, more AI investment, making sure that we're leading in artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency. David Sachs is killing it right now. And this is going to do, you know, very, very well for the stocks that we are talking about constantly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, AI has become more woke. Well, I think that there's actually been a large demand for that. The amount of pushback that Google got for some of their, you know, models that they had put out showing off some pretty crazy. I don't want to get too political into that sort of stuff, but yeah. It's just that has already been leaning that way, but a more neutral base in artificial intelligence. We have to make sure that is the case, and then let alone that you know, there is large American models that continue to be pushed forward. That the China deals hopefully do getting signed through. What we ended up hearing is that they're hoping that we get rare earth deals from China, and if China doesn't hold up their side of the deal on that, then they're not going to get anything from NVIDIA. There was actually a clip today that I saw from Trump recently talking about how he was thinking about breaking up NVIDIA stock a while back. And I like that the people in his ear are saying this. This is also why I'm not only a big fan of NVIDIA, but also why I have not diversified too much into other names, is exactly the type of commentary that Trump has in this video. Let's take a listen.
Here, including somebody that's amazing. I said, look, we'll break this guy up. This is before I learned the facts of life. I said, we'll break them up. They said, don't say it's very hard. I said, why? I said, what percentages of the market does he have? I said, he has 100%. I said, who the hell is he? What's his name? His name is Jensen Huang, NVIDIA. I said, what the hell is NVIDIA? I've never heard of it before. He said, you don't want to know about it, sir. I figured we could go in and we could sort of break them up a little bit, get them a little competition. And I found out it's not easy in that business. I said, supposing we put the greatest minds together and they work hand in hand for a couple of years. He said, no, it would take at least 10 years to catch him if he ran NVIDIA totally incompetently from now on. So I said, all right, let's go on to the next one. And then I got to know Jensen, and now I see why. Jensen, will you stand up? What a job. What a job you've done. Man. Great. He's a great guy, too.
My hero, Jensen Huang. I love how there's some people that pronounce Jensen Huang's name wrong. He actually pronounced it correctly, or at least his Americanized name. But then he says NVIDIA, and I constantly hear NVIDIA, and it drives me nuts. It's NVIDIA, okay? Not NVIDIA. But they've kind of gotten over it. And yeah, I mean, he's just cementing that leather jacket. He truly is. Showing up to a Trump speech, leather jacket. Let the world change around you. Okay. NVIDIA in Nevada. Yeah, it's crazy. 100% market. Now, it's not, that's not 100% accurate, but it still does show you that they are an unbelievable dominant force, and it will take a decade for companies to catch up if Jensen Huang is sitting on his hands. I mean, that is truly something powerful to say about NVIDIA. Canadian giving English lessons. Yeah, I know. For someone that mispronounces things as much as I do, it's probably not what I should do, but it just drives me nuts whenever people say NVIDIA. Yeah. Lots of percent here, yeah. Okay, let's jump into... by the way, this was a small piece of news, but I don't know why I should just highlight it anyway. Jeff Bezos is weighing the possible acquisition of CNBC cable network. This guy's going to own, the media, which scares me a little bit, but thought I'd let you know. Who knows what's actually going to happen, but it is floating around in the news sphere right now. Like I also said, the H20 chip sales to China will only resume after China starts exporting rare earth magnets to the US. Okay, let's jump into PayPal. This is going to be a big name that we have to talk about today. Crazy news came out at midnight last night, or I guess this morning. Introducing PayPal World. Okay, PayPal World, a global platform connecting the world's largest payment systems and digital wallets, starting with interoperability to PayPal and Venmo. Now, like I said, this comes with so many different pieces. The first piece, which I actually want to go scroll all the way down, which is PayPal and Venmo will have the same directory for clients. So if I'm on PayPal, which is available in Canada, Venmo is available in the States, I will still be able to take payment from Venmo users. Thank gosh, okay? That is such a massive add. And by the way, it's not just for interoperability between peer-to-peer networks. It's also if a Venmo user wants to pay for something that's on a PayPal like buy button. So if a website that you go to accepts PayPal, but they don't have a specific pay with Venmo thing, which is much more rare than what you would see for PayPal, they will allow you to use your PayPal or your Venmo wallet to pay for those objects. Now, to get really into the weeds here, okay, because this is a part that not many people care as much about, but I care about. The take rate, meaning that whenever you buy something using PayPal, it doesn't cost you a dime as a consumer, but the merchant has to pay PayPal to enable that payment, right? Visa, MasterCard, these companies need to get paid. PayPal takes a high cut, like 3.5% versus a lot of other solutions, even their own solutions. Like Braintree, which is another part of PayPal's subscription, tries to match the Stripes of the world, and the ad ends at 2.9% plus 30 cents, which is sort of the blanket default across for online payments. Around 3% of the fees end up going to the actual payment provider. Okay. That's what Braintree does. PayPal's a little bit higher because it comes with brand recognition, right? If a company offers PayPal, like whenever you're understanding payments, there's so much to understand. Trust, conversion, authorization rates. This is a really intricate part of the online finance space, okay? And whenever you have to learn about PayPal, you have to learn about a lot of those things. But whenever a customer is asked to put in their card details, debit or credit, and it's just blank, hey, what's your card number? What's your expiration? What are these things? That the time it takes to usually fill out that information is around 4 minutes, okay? And time is very, very sensitive whenever it comes to being on a checkout page, because everyone has doubts about what they're purchasing. They need to be very confident in their purchase if they're going to spend more than 4 minutes trying to check it out, because the high percentage of people end up leaving that checkout page. Okay, they abandon cart. Okay, and essentially, online brands do not want that. So the reason why Shopify does so well, the reason why so many of these companies like Stripe do so well with their Link product, is that they lower the time to checkout, which stops people from having those last-minute decisions of backing away. So if you can be like PayPal, where you lower that time from 4 minutes to less than 2 minutes, massive conversion rate, which means the customers that they have on platform have increased revenue if they deal with PayPal. That also comes with a level of customer, trust in PayPal. So if you go to another online store, one that you've never heard about, you're trying it online, you never heard anyone talk about it, but they have a product that you want, and they're asking you for your debit and credit details. You go, is this a scam? I'm not sure. I feel a little bit hesitant purchasing this product. If you go on to PayPal and you see that they have a PayPal button, you know that PayPal is going to charge that merchant back, and they guarantee those refunds if you don't feel like they've provided those goods or services. So it actually increases that conversion because the customer has a lot of trust in that brand. PayPal knows that very well. So they don't charge 2.9%. If you have a PayPal button, they charge 3.5 plus 50 cents. Like it's incredibly high, but it's PayPal. Customers trust them. Conversion rates go higher. The time to checkout goes much lower, higher conversions. Customers make more money even though they're charging more. I'm bringing all of this back to realize that Venmo, being able to purchase on PayPal buttons, Venmo has the lowest take rate. It's like 1.5% plus 10 cents. It's the lowest in the market, okay? But if they pick on a PayPal branded checkout, they get charged at a much higher rate. So not only does this going to bring on 90 million more users, because that's how many users are using Venmo, to be able to use PayPal's branded checkout, but it increases the average take rate of those 90 million users. This is an incredible ad. This just came out yesterday. PayPal World, okay? On top of that is all the added benefits of working with, where are the brands? Mercado Pago, UPI, TenPay, which is Tencent, Venmo. These companies are going to work together so then you can end up buying internationally. You can send money to individuals that are over there for remittances, lower the cost of those payments, which is probably going to, include things like stable coins and instant payments and all of these things. So this is how the larger payment providers are trying to fight back against stablecoin usage and things like Circle and Coinbase, is that they need to work together, okay? Network effects make strong, sticky markets. So another amazing ad from Alex Chris. He's doing a phenomenal job. This is an absolute bang-up job. PayPal and Venmo coming together. International purchases just mean that more customers have more ways to spend and receive money on PayPal. If there was one thing that was going to make me a PayPal bull, it was exactly this news. So I'm very happy. The market, though, sentiment-wise, is still going to be very on edge on if they are going to, choose PayPal or bet on the Circles and the Tethers of the world and these sort of things, which, by the way, I actually tweeted out about. It's actually not in my notes, but it should have been. Where did I say? Okay, here. So a lot of people have been talking about Circle recently. And this is Circle right here, USDC. This company just recently went public at a $31 share price, and then quickly ran up to $300 a share as the Genius Act was getting signed into law. Okay. That has now brought about massive use cases for USDC, furthering the excitement of stablecoins. And there's 64 billion US dollars sitting at Circle, in customers' wallets, paying for things online, stuff like this. Tether has just signaled that they are wanting to comply with US regulations and set up shop here. Okay. US domestic strategy. That means that they'll have to show off, I think it's either monthly or quarterly reserves, show off that they are invested in the proper things that they're allowed, which are more like long-term treasuries and these sort of things. Or actually, I think it's more short-term treasuries. My apologies. And to make sure that they are actually matching the amount of dollars that people are putting in. The reason why this is so exciting is that Tether is a $162 billion market cap. And as you can see, the volume in the last 24 hours, okay, USDC has 64 billion, and 14 billion of that has, or 15 billion of that has transacted in the last 24 hours. Tether has a $162 billion market cap, and $133 billion has transacted in the last 24 hours. Tether is a giant, okay? So this all goes into the comparison of, is PayPal going to survive, or are these massive players, Tether, Circle, all the other additive, stable coins, also going to chip away at the market share that PayPal potentially has? Now, I understand what everyone's thinking, or at least a good percentage of the PayPal bullish individuals in chat. PayPal has their own stablecoin called PYUSD, which is issued by Paxos, which is another large provider of these coins. Okay, I understand that. But the take rate, the difference between what Circle ends up, allowing you to transact $1 and then how much they tap on top of that for their own profits, extremely small. Okay. PayPal transacts a lot of dollars, and the cost to do that is high, but the amount that they slap on top is a very, very nice, large, chunky margin. So if the market starts to compress down and margins come down, okay, that means that PayPal's cost to operate payments ends up going down, but their take rate going to stay that same chunky margin? That's what the market is trying to figure out right now. I'm not 100% sure. That's why I haven't, rushed to make any buys or anything along these lines. I'm happy holding on to the companies that even, Steve was on earlier talking about. I mean, I'm extremely happy holding and buying more Google and Amazon right now because they have unbelievable upsides. The market's not understanding it well. And I actually believe that Google has a much higher chance of surviving through their competitions like OpenAI, Anthropic, all of these names, more so than PayPal is able to survive versus the likes of, Apple, Adyen, stable coins. The whole world is trying to come after PayPal's market. Does that mean that they lose? No, I'm not saying that, but we will see. 133 billion transacted in the last 24 hours. See, it is true. And it's crazy. No one's going to kill Google anymore. I'm how old is Tanner? I'm 27. I'll be 28 in October. Don't let anyone tell you that it is my birthday today. It's not my birthday. I don't know why that's funny, but everyone every day says it's my birthday. I'll let you guys know. Actually, I probably won't, but I just did. It's in October. Dividend Dude says, what's up, Tanner? Great earnings results from Google today. I am super happy. Absolutely. Me as well. And I am not as happy about Tesla as much. Thank you, guys. I do appreciate the happy birthday wishes. Very, very nice. They did that to Amit. I don't know. I don't know. Do you guys think that's funny? I don't know, man. Okay. Either way, Google's up in the after hours. Dude, Nvidia's up another freaking 1% after being up 2% during the intraday. We're at $172, $173 per share. Look at my dog. Look at that dog. Come here, baby. Up, up. Up, up. Come on. Up, up. Raina, up, up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up? Okay, 1 second. I'm going to just let her out of the room. Yeah. Her name's Raina. Raina. Okay. Let's go on to so we talked about PayPal. Let's quickly talk about SOFI. SOFI just recently had another job description that was very interesting, which was the potential integration of mergers and acquisitions. Okay. Potentially they're looking to have jobs that will look at integration efforts for mergers and acquisitions. Maybe they will, I don't know, look to get into a crypto name. That's been the big one that they've been sort of hovering at. If they do, though, I don't think it'll be a crypto service like consumer facing as much as it will be something to add on to Galileo. Okay. But they did end up furthering this and looking for job titles to help with mergers and acquisitions. Some people point out that it's mergers, acquisitions, and divestitures, but what would they divest from? Not sure. Yeah, next week is SOFI. It's going to be Tuesday morning, same time as PayPal. Osiris, you're correct. Yeah, Queen. And what's funny is I had no clue that's what her name meant. It was like the adoption place, like the shelter that we got her from. Was like her name was Raina. We didn't change it, but yeah, I found out that it's Queen. Your dog told us to buy Chewy, not financial advice. Well, we don't use Chewy, so actually, I think we've gotten a couple things, but yeah, I don't know if that's bearish or whatever. We feeling more bullish after earnings tonight? I feel over the moon about Google. Google, I feel extremely bullish on. Like, Sundar's doing the right thing. The AI advance or like the amount of money that they're putting into it, saying that they're going to do even more next year, gets me extremely excited. I'm very, very excited about Google. 9 million developers are building on Gemini now. 450 million monthly active users on Gemini. In terms of AI search or AI overviews in search, now has 2 billion monthly users across 200 countries and 40 languages. 2 billion. Those are 2 billion people that if you start bringing Gemini online there and continue to upgrade your models over time, there'll be zero reason to look elsewhere. That's instant news on the fly. That's exactly what people are looking for from ChatGPT. Okay. They think cloud's $1 trillion opportunity, and CapEx sort of shows that off as it continues to expand and will continue to expand going forward. They process 980 trillion monthly tokens across their products and APIs, which is up from 480 trillion in May. The really big test will be whenever they compare that to Microsoft's numbers. Okay, I'm excited to see what Microsoft has to say because they were toting about how fast they were growing, but they were at like 100 million. Then Google came out and they were at 480 million. So I wonder if the separation has gotten larger or anything, but we'll see. An interesting part about the tokens, obviously, the ability to create more tokens has severely increased. Okay, so it's not on a one-to-one basis, but that same sort of idea is there's no tokens getting created on CPUs here. It's all GPUs, right? So, or some TPUs. I'm not going to take that away from Google, but it just gets me back to the question of, is NVIDIA still worth holding as your largest position in your portfolio as a $4.2 trillion company? I would say yes. I would say yes. In fact, I think that we'll get above the $200 range here in quick order, especially as we see their quarters coming around. That'll be in August, but still very, very excited. Sagig says, sorry, I'm late. Aren't we all? We're all late to the show. It's got 2x more monthly active users for Gemini than ChatGPT. What do you mean? ChatGPT has more users. But we'll have to see the growth rates in which that's happening, as well as the cost to serve, the ability to actually stay profitable or unprofitable. Google is such a beast because they don't need to raise capital. Like ChatGPT has to continuously go to market because they want to spend $20 billion a year. Freaking Google just spent $22 billion in CapEx this quarter, and they didn't ask anyone for a dime. That's a powerful business. Thoughts on ServiceNow? I didn't even get to go through some of the numbers. I'm extremely bullish on ServiceNow, just their ability to distribute, or well, one, go full into artificial intelligence tools and then distribute it to their mass amount of clients. I think will bode well for them going forward. They've always been very forward-looking. Shareholder on the company, didn't end up looking at their quarter because I know it's not as popular of a name. So I'm sort of feeding my kids here, and then Papa will feed himself later whenever he's not live. Tanner's middle name is Late. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the number of GCP clients are up 28%. They said, we signed on, not just signed on, but also using more Wayfair, Mattel, Target, LVMH, Salesforce. We knew about some of these because of large, reports that came out earlier, but come on, this is an exciting time for Google. Google is still YouTube is still growing in total stream market share. Their ability to monetize YouTube has been going up. Phenomenal. And I mean, who here doesn't like YouTube? My biased audience aside, okay? Google is a beast. I agree. So are you buying PayPal? Well, I haven't made a purchase yet, but I am thinking about it. Can I not think? I need to think. So I want a little bit more data. I don't think that the market is rushing me into any sort of decision right now. Crossroads Roy, has been on a real stream of invest then investigate. That's been his big sort of call lately, is that in a market like this, buy a little bit and then look further into it. I don't know how much I agree with that, or at least how much of an allocation that you put towards that type of strategy. It better be small, because that same sort of invest then investigate gets you into things that potentially burn you from time to time. Tanner, if you consider PayPal, why not just add to Google instead? Well, I mean, essentially that is what I am doing, is buying more Google right now. But I don't know. I like a little bit of diversification. I like companies that have quick turnaround plays, and the ability to accelerate earnings at quick paces. I've had a hard time seeing an opportunity and then not taking it. If you guys remember before, I think I have 14 names in my portfolio right now. At one point, I had as many as like 34 or 35. So I've had to trim back on that sort of strategy. But whenever I see a name that I think will go up, I usually take a position. Yeah. Any thoughts on BMNR? Nothing necessarily that is bad. I bullish on Ethereum and bullish on, potentially holding on to a bunch of them and just staking it the whole time. And then, I don't know. It's just a matter of what the net asset value multiple is on it. I think it's gotten as high as 5 times, maybe a little bit higher, maybe 6 times at one point. That's expensive. Thoughts on the trade desk earnings? We'll see. I'm overall bullish. I think that the market is slowly trying to gain its trust back on the trade desk, but I'm a shareholder. Not only am I a shareholder for my portfolio, I also picked it in the stock draft. So out of 10 possible names that I could have picked, that was on that list. So I'm bullish. And now that they're in the S&P 500, it definitely helps with the from the size there. I'm not at 30 names anymore, by the way, guys. The reason why I got to 30 names was, like I said, I couldn't turn down a deal that I thought that I saw. It's insanely hard to stay accurate on your information and up to date every single quarter, every single fireside with 35 names. So that was really hard, especially once I started, talking about it online. I had to be pretty freaking accurate with up-to-date news. So that's been the one great thing about YouTube as well, is that it's actually increased the level of research that I do, because I can't have rough estimates. I have to explain through my thesis less than gut feelings. And a lot of times in investing, people make, gut decisions. I still do today, but I have to do that a lot less now because people ask me why. Which is honestly, it's a good, sort of, I don't know, stress test on your investments. But in terms of having 35 picks, guys, the fund has like 70 plus picks right now. Or not mine. The community fund has like 70 plus picks. So we'll have to. Some people wanted like a stream where we go over that versus the S&P 500. You don't even want to see it. It's not a good look. The opportunity cost with PayPal has proven to be a real risk. There are other stocks, Google, Nubank, SoFi, and others that I prefer at today's prices. Yeah, it has been historically. I don't know what will happen into the future, especially if they continue to do these types of moves like PayPal World, like, bringing on the physical cards and everything that increase the amount that people are paying with PayPal. It could be a real turnaround play. If they can accelerate their growth back into teens levels of year over year revenue growth rates, investors are going to have to rethink what they would price Google at. Bag H20. BWXT provides parts and supplies for building nuclear SMRs. That's another thing that I need to get more into is energy plays, especially. But BWXT, let's take a look here. $13 billion market cap. Yeah, that fits well. All right. Bag H20, thank you so much. I actually think he donated another stock yesterday. What was the name? I don't remember. But on this channel, if people donate $10 or more, just because I don't get flooded with $2 orders and stuff, KLAC was the other one. But here, let me make sure that is screenshot. SMRs are going to be so very real. I should do more due diligence into the nuclear plays. I just saw a lot of them ran up so fast that I don't know if I should still be looking into them as being undervalued or not. Yeah. Someone out there should mirror this community portfolio. I mean, I'm like, why? I'm doing it. We're tracking it. I wouldn't necessarily think that this is going to beat the mark. I thought it actually would have at the start. Now I'm questioning it. We'll see. Like this. Sell Fiserv. Sorry about the pick. I mean, we do have to create some sort of way for people to get out of the picks. So what should we do? If an initial donator says to buy a company, they realize that that has gone wrong, do we follow that and just sell it immediately? Osiris says with $50, buy PayPal. Well, I mean, Osiris, thank you so much. I will very happily, I'm already looking into it. Let's invest, then investigate. $50 going into PayPal stock. We'll add that to the fund. Man, you are the GOAT. SoFi and Robinhood gave me the best returns along with NVIDIA. Thank you, my friend. I really do appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I wouldn't say that, we're going to keep up this hot streak. I mean, bull markets make everyone feel like a genius, but ladies and gentlemen, I do feel it's been a good streak for sure. SoFi's been doing really well. Robinhood, NVIDIA, getting out of Tesla was also a really good play. I mean, people have to remember that was my second largest position. So we can talk about how much, SoFi has gone up, how much, all these different names, but your second largest position, if that would have dragged my portfolio any longer, that would have held my entire portfolio's returns back. I know that there might be some Tesla bulls in here, and I don't necessarily, look badly on that. I mean, I do want to be a Tesla shareholder to some degree. I believe in the idea of electric vehicles. I think they're a better product. Self-driving vehicles, like this is going from a rotary phone to a smartphone. I believe that. But valuation is another part that we have to look into. And yeah. Next time I do a super chat, you'll have to buy something for your dog, maybe a new bed and some treats. I mean, you guys can't see the office, but right beside me is a massive bed. But Dookie, I'm happy to treat the dog to some treats. I get Dookie Pie treats. Sold my company vested stocks and bought Robinhood at 40. Well, I wanted to see what you thought about UNH and Mama Creation stock. I mean, honestly, I don't follow those two names, but I'm happy that you made a fortune on Robinhood's, because clearly you did if you bought in at 40. And it's funny because you have to sort of take a massive leap of faith at a company at $40 a share whenever that's sort of breaking new highs, at least for the year at least. And it only looked like it was going to go higher. It's extremely hard to do that. You're giving me a lot of credit, but honestly, you're the one that took a leap of faith after selling your company's vested shares and everything. I mean, that's insane. So congratulations. Hopefully it was life-changing. And, but that's what, that's what markets do to you. Thought you had a cat. I do have a cat. I got a cat and a dog, no kids, a girlfriend of 7 years that probably should be my wife, but I'm just, we're in, a lot of people invest then investigate. I'm really researching right now, making sure she's the one. She is the one. She is the one. I'm just slow. Let's add to your Norwegian Cruise Lines. B of A raised their price target today to $27 a share. If we get you to 100 shares, you get a free onboard credit. Yeah, I heard Carnival Cruise Line does that as well. If you have 100 shares, that you also get discounts on the cruises as well. That's pretty interesting. I think more companies should do that. I forget the list of companies that do have shareholder benefits. I know that the cruise lines do, but I don't know a lot of the other ones that do. You're living the dream. Keep it that way. What else am I waiting for? I don't know, man. I'm just busy every day. Okay. I'm just sitting in front of a camera all day. I don't know. That's mainly what it is. It's just time. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. Holy crap. The amount of green names in chat is just insane. Yes. Brandon here just got one. Osiris just got one. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting in front of a camera all day, that's a myth. It is a myth. But I'm trying to step up my game, as you can see. I mean, we're already 55 minutes into this show, and we haven't even covered half the news of what I... well, no, that's not true. I mean, we covered a lot, but I got to send Steve a link out too, is make sure that we get his thoughts on what we saw today. But we already did get a little bit, but I want to see if he's actively buying Google here. In the other thing that I want to talk about was Nubank. Okay, they just made a interesting change. So one of the things that they ended up doing recently was not getting away from financial services, but not making financial services their exclusive product that they end up making money on, which is pretty rare for a bank, an international bank, even more so. But they had another product that was a eSIM, allowing people to connect to the internet and data and everything like this for Nubank subscribers. So more of their high-end customers could be able to get better rates on their monthly bills. With that, they also got, increased services like APYs and stuff like this at their bank. But not a lot of users could actually have eSIMs because a lot of them have older cell phones. So Nubank realized they need to launch a physical chip and expand purchasing options for customers to actually get onto new cell. Okay, so expanding really quickly in that area as well. Very, very interesting. The plans include unlimited calls, valid for local and long distance calls, unlimited WhatsApp, including voice and video calls, unlimited access to the Nubank app. So CDI is like their Fed's fund rate. Okay. They have a savings account. If you have a new cell account, that will give you 120% of CDI. So if the Fed's fund rate is at 4%, they essentially will give, let's say 5% for easy math. Instead of it being at 5%, they'll give you a 6% savings account. Okay. Cause that would be, 120%. So at 4.25% or whatever it is right now, it would give you a yield of like 5.1%, something around there. So yeah, imagine a savings account here in America that gives you 5.1%. Pretty exciting. And fast 5G connections through Brazil. Nice. Yeah, the gifts that go out to people are random. So you don't need to spam the chat, Mark. What did you guys buy recently? I mean, for me, it's been Google, Nubank, Amazon, stuff like this. It's been honestly pretty much the same constantly. I think that Amazon is going to have a big moment, and we need to see earnings and these sort of things to really get people excited again. I find companies like Google and Amazon really require just those large catalysts. Even changes in their product lines and everything don't seem to get people too excited in the can you say intra-quarter? Between the earnings calls? Whatever you want to call that. Yeah. Any thoughts on Up FinTech? No, I don't have any. I apologize. Google Cloud went well, bullish Microsoft and Amazon, and they have larger market shares of cloud. Absolutely. Microsoft has also been leading in growth as well. So I'll be interested to see if that keeps up and they can keep up like a 34+% growth rate, something along those lines. Amazon's been a little bit slower, but they have the entire market. So yeah, 100% bullish on that. Tanner, did you sell SBET? I'm not allowed. So in the community fund, we need to decide if we're going to change any rules or something like this. I got donated SBET, but the deal is that if we get donations, that we keep them for a year. Okay, so I haven't sold any SBET. I also don't think that we're going to lose out on that if Ethereum continues to run. Probably has been pulling back a little bit. If there was any news today that should shape that even more, 2581. Yeah, I mean we're down, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case going forward. How did I get access to community fund? So the community fund is not something that, it's just a portfolio that we are tracking. It's not something that is participatable. And I mean, you can donate to the channel, but that's just a donation. It's a guaranteed 100% loss. This is not something that we're going to make any money on. But it's just for educational or entertainment purposes to see if the chat can potentially outperform the S&P 500. That's all it is. So far, not going too great. Okay. This is not something that I control or engage with at all. Or like, not that I don't engage with it, but I can't change the picks. This is 100% you guys. If we compare it to the SPY, for example, you know, there's going to be some volatility in buying names like SBET, stuff like this. And then these are all the names that we are involved with. I mean, we have everything. Sorry, the chat's kind of cutting it off a little bit, but we have everything. Okay. And then at the end of every day, we go ahead and add to those things, or at least whenever I have time. Whenever I have time, I add to it. Who's in the lead for the community portfolio? That is something that I need to do. Maybe we'll do that on a quarterly basis where I literally create like a leaderboard to see who, if I had to guess, I haven't looked at a lot of individual names. Like the people who have donated Abcelera are doing insanely well. ASTS, the people who have donated Joby, insane. Some quantum names have done very, very well. Yeah. I know Raymond May in chat had donated a couple names. I think they've donated 3 or 4 names, and all of them have done very well. So congratulations to them. I mean, well, congratulations to me, but yeah. My donation portfolio should be doing pretty well. Curtis, I'll have to check yours. I'll make sure that it actually gets organized, and maybe we'll do like a literally quarterly like event. That would be fun. If anyone wants to see the rules of how we play it or anything or stuff like that, it's in the description. You could check that there. It'd be cool if YouTube created that. What do you mean, Dookie? Just like built into the thing? Yeah, it would be cool if you could like select the stock and then auto buys. I mean, I could probably create something like that, but yeah. I was gifted a membership last week. Thank you to whoever that was. I can almost guarantee you that was Dookie Pie. She's a crazy person and donated way too much last week. So every name in this chat is green. Also, Willy Wonka also went pretty crazy as well. There was a lot from Willy Wonka as well. It makes me feel so Dookie Pie and Willy Wonka, like all this stuff. I mean, you guys support the channel. I appreciate it. And there are adults behind those names, but it's still so like, why can't you just pick like Aaron or Jordan in chat or these? No, I have to instead say Willy Wonka. And I know Willy Wonka's name, by the way. I'm not going to dox you or anything, but perfectly normal name. Big H20 donating LNG and QS. You want me to break them into 2 different investments? That's straight up breaking the rules, but I will do it because people don't check the rules enough. Thank you again, Bag. I do appreciate it. Mike says, what about me? What about you? Kevin Jude says, Tanner, what's up? Okay. Let's get back into some of the news. I did send Steve a link, but he never ended up joining. I was expecting him to join, but that's all right. In terms of tomorrow, we are going to be live once again multiple times. So we have a stream after the close from Microsoft, Meta, and Hood. I'm going to pull away the curtain. We're going to be listening to Hood. I will obviously get the numbers for Microsoft and Meta, but I'm actually going to be on the earnings call for Robinhood. Okay. Asking a question for the third quarter in a row now. Mind-blowing, by the way, that we're able to do that as retail investors. That I come on wearing a freaking t-shirt sitting in my own office while there's actual analysts of stocks that also get to ask questions. It's just crazy. But we'll be asking a question. If you guys think that there's something that we should ask them, not when dividend or something like this, but a real question for the Robinhood community. Oh, sorry. No. Yeah, you're so right. I was looking at the wrong week. I was thinking in my head, I was like, why am I? Yeah, my apologies. I had this pulled up and I was just on the wrong week. I was on the next week. My apologies. Tomorrow is Intel, which we'll also be listening to. I knew I was going live tomorrow. I just didn't know what for. We'll be listening to Intel's earnings call. I will not be on the earnings call for that. Next week, on the 30th, we have Microsoft, Meta, and Robinhood. My apologies. For that, I will be on Robinhood's call. And yeah. Just looked at, I know, all the Say Technology questions are when dividend. Not going to happen. My bad. Yeah. Meta, yeah, sorry. I was looking at this sheet here and it didn't end up showing me the date at the top. So I just scrolled up and got confused. Sorry. This is the date tomorrow here. So tomorrow we have Intel, which one is, yeah, Deckers, yeah, not many big names that I actually cover here at all. Coursera, maybe. Yeah, I don't really care about any of these names for the most part. It's mainly just Intel. In the morning, Honeywell, maybe, just because Evan's going to be listening to that, and now he's been putting that in the community fund. So, yeah, but I'll probably just listen to that on my own and not be live for that. My bad, guys. Lester says, here's money for Rocket Lab. Love your show and your coverage. I'm stoked for good earnings. So far, so good. Thank you for the donation. I do appreciate the support on the channel. Hopefully the picks are all going super well. And I mean, if you're a big Rocket Lab guy, you don't have to have people tell you that you're doing well right now. Congratulations and thank you. I do appreciate it. They'll be put into the fund. Intel is the king of nothing at the moment. Yes, but I still want to hear from them. I want to hear about their foundry side. I want to hear about their CPU business. Still something that I want to listen into. It's good for the industry in general. Honeywell splitting into 3 different companies. It's going to take off like Raytheon did. I know that's what I was thinking about whenever Trump not that he suggested, but that he was thinking before about breaking NVIDIA up into multiple pieces. I was like, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I will own shares of all those parts. Very happy to do so. Probably would sell off the gaming and everything like this. Just keep all AI demand. Tanner putting in overtime. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of news. We're in the heat of earnings season. This is what we need. Thank Vlad for bringing back 3% bonuses to account transfers. I mean, that's a good question, I guess. I need to find out what I'm going to ask. Mainly, it's probably going to be me staring at earnings and seeing what, you know, I actually see from earnings and being like, oh, you know what, I have to make some sort of change there, or I need to clarify what they're showing off there. Most times, it's about cryptocurrency, the size of new markets that they're getting into, stuff like that I've answered previous, or that I've asked previously. My two questions were crypto take rate and where that's going to be into the future, and are you getting are you getting cross-sell and top of funnel customers from things like credit cards and these sort of things, especially for banking. Whenever Robinhood Banking comes out, I'm going to be so excited for the new customers that aren't there for brokerage. Like literally they came to Robinhood for their amazing banking account and like how high the APY is and the different perks. That is exciting. HNST, why does that, is that Honest? Yeah, the Honest Company. So unfortunately, Kyle, thank you so much for the donation, but we have a rule. Ladies and gentlemen, check the rules in the description. $1 billion companies only, $500 million market cap, not eligible. So let me know, Kyle, in the chat, what else you would like me to pick. Christine donated, grab 100%. I'll take some grab. Amit will love you for it. So thank you, Christine. I do appreciate it. SoFi will get smashed. Question mark. Sorry, I thought that was a period, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we have a a little bit of a hater here. SoFi will get smashed. Not necessarily. It is funny. Just the tone that you put on how much it changes who I think you are actually writing this out. SoFi will get smashed. No, I honestly don't think so. I'm hopeful this time. I'm very hopeful. I think that this will be one of the strongest quarters that they put out. I think if they put out, especially if they put out 40% year-over-year growth rates, that will be an insane statistic to show off. Insane. Hawks. Yeah. I hate the way SoFi is running up with all the meme stocks. I disagree. I think SoFi has been so undervalued. Like, even Open Door to some degree, I was talking about yesterday, like, I have not looked into the valuation and the size of that business, but did they deserve to be 50 cents? Like, does a company that's dying and not doing so well deserve to be zero right away? Or is there something in what they're doing that could improve and it's worth the risks, right? The lower the company is in terms of the market cap on like markets actually decreases the risk because it's already fallen so much. It doesn't mean that it's because it's low, doesn't mean that it can't go lower. Companies absolutely can continue to get compressed over and over until zero. But maybe the original, the person, they haven't really been named, or at least I don't know who they are. Maybe there's a roaring kitty or a person that is attached to the thesis for Open Door. I don't know who that is. Maybe some of you that are very into Wall Street bets are questioning the fact that I don't even know this person's name. But there probably is some level of, hey, this is a 50-cent company. It probably deserves to be $1 or $1.20. And this is my thesis. And taking it up to $5 a share was ridiculous. Okay. But like, I'm not involved in any of that. But there is something to say that a company that is undervalued deserves to go higher. What the market does with that going forward can take it into overvalued territory. SoFi sitting at a $13 or even $11 price target recently did deserve to go higher. That's why it's up 100% in the last 3 months. It was so undervalued to where it probably should have been. Now, the problem with a company that runs up is that you do get the meme stock investing types. That a company goes up 100% and then people say, it's going up another 100%. It's going up 500%. People just change their price targets. Whenever we were at $7, people go, this is a $20 stock all day long. Then it gets to 20 and they go, it's a $50 stock all day long. All right, where'd you get that number from? I really do think that SoFi is very close to their fair value, probably sitting around somewhere around $25 per share. You know, I think that's probably a fair number. Now, if they continue to compound, like just on a revenue basis, 30+%, let alone what they throw down to EPS, if a company is growing at 30-40% year over year, that means that their, valuation should go up by 30-40%, if not potentially even more if that accelerates or margins get better or these sort of things. So that's why I'm still very happy to hold on to SoFi, is because I'm talking about today's fair value. After earnings, the fair value will go up because the PE ratios will go down immediately because the trailing 12-month numbers just climbed. So it's a momentum market. Yeah, I mean, the truth is that I don't try to play that way. I mean, it is until it isn't. And then I don't want to be caught holding the bag going, oh, you know what? I'm safe to invest in meme stocks because this is the market. It is until it isn't. Tanner's been talking live for many, many hours. Yeah, because Nadia, you keep showing up. Okay. So if you're here, I'm talking. Thank you for being here. I'm getting passive aggressive for no reason. You're just being nice. And I'm like trying to be defensive for no reason. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Is CHYM more valuable than SoFi? In no way is it more valuable than SoFi. In the market cap, in the revenue, in the growth rates, in the margins, in the member base, in no way. In the quality of their products, no. Now, let's talk about CHYM really quick. Okay, because CHYM has some things that I want to talk about if people are maybe considering this name. Now, whenever I say CHYM, I realize this from other channels that whenever you mention CHYM, many people don't even know that this is a name. This is a newly public company going back to June 9th. I know, very long-term position here. June 9th, you've been a shareholder, or you've been a public company for a month and a half. Now, if we look at a little bit more detail than this, does it get any better than that? No. It did actually end up running whenever it went public, all the way up to $44 a share, which you do not see in these lines. I wish we had better lines than this. No, 10 minutes is not going to be enough. Yeah, it did end up running to $44.94. You can see this here on their historical high, 52-week high. And that was right at the beginning. So we went all the way up to roughly right here. It's just not showing because it happened in hourly blips, skyrocketed back down. And then we've been in sort of this, range bound for about a month or so, which is not a lot to say that a company deserves to be at that price. As you can see, the stock is up 7% today. And if we go even further than that and look at like how the stock is actually traded today, at one point it was up like, 13+%. So it was quite the run up. Now, why? ClearBridge was a large investor, tons of assets under management that actually came out to say that they just took stake in CHYM. They're getting excited. To me, it drives me nuts that a company like, CHYM can catch such a higher bid for doing nothing other than not owning a bank. Okay. SoFi is a faster growing company, higher margins. They have higher margins, by the way, because they are a bank. Okay. SoFi does less in loans. They have more in fee-based revenue, which does bode well for their valuation. SoFi is quickly gaining in that direction. So each and every quarter that goes on, I think that the market's going to get more and more bullish with SoFi, especially if they create a very quick trend of increasing that fee-based revenue. The only problem is that loans are going to be such a large part, but yeah. Let's see. Tanner, you've been streaming for a long time. Yeah, it's good markets. I'm happy. SoFi is great. I've owned it for 2 years. I've booked many thousands in profits. Nice. Tanner was asked a super chat on LNG and ignored it. No, I wasn't asked about LNG. I know nothing about LNG. people potentially donate stocks. As you can see, all the donations have stock tickers assigned to them. They're not asking about honest company or stuff like this. I don't know a single thing about those companies. Mainly just, putting them into the community fund because those investors have beliefs in those businesses. Not that I know anything about them. I loved burritos at Chipotle. Yeah, but the market doesn't like those burritos as much. Now, I didn't actually check too much on what dragged it down negative 10% in the after hours, but I did see that they missed on, was it, here, let's see here. Where was the report? So total revenue. Was this their report? Revenue missed by 1.6%. EPS was in line at 33 cents. Forward guidance looked, completely flat, low single digits. New restaurant openings stayed the exact same between 315 and 345. They need to continue to expand in Canada. They're not expanding fast enough. I mean, it was busy whenever I used to go there, but I need more Chipotles. Free cash flow ended up going down year over year. Share buybacks happened, pretty strong share buybacks, 440 million. Yeah, it's probably, some of it was probably margins and stuff. Earnings went down 3% year over year. Revenue went up 3% year over year. It's probably just not growing as fast as what people are expecting. Did you get my replacement for Honest? No, I did not. Let me know. Sorry, Kyle, I missed that. If someone sees it, let me know and just say, hey, Kyle, put in a post. Do a shot of maple syrup every time a stock of yours beats on top and bottom line. Honestly, the names that I have picked, well, I hope every investor is pretty confident in their names beating on earnings, but I'm pretty confident this season. So far, so good. We're doing well. But I don't think NVIDIA is going to miss. I don't think SoFi is going to miss. I don't think Hood's going to miss. Yeah, all the names that I've sort of associated with on this channel are pretty freaking confident with in Q2. And if I wasn't, we potentially rotate out. Kyle wants more SoFi. No, he said Marvel. Okay. Or Marvel. Depends on how you say it these days. Thank you, Kyle. Screenshot that. Tanner, do you own Palantir? No, I don't. It's probably something I should have held on to, but to be completely frank with you, I would have sold it at every instant. I would have sold it at 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm not a shareholder. I think that the valuation's overextended and that they have an amazing product, but it's expensive. Hood's going to crush earnings? I think so. Out of everyone in the Hood Weekly or the conversations that I talk, or like with Roy and Amit, I have the most bullish expectations for earnings. I have $941 million for revenue and 34 cents of EPS, which I actually think is midpoint of analyst guidance. But if we go to Seeking Alpha here really quickly, just take a look at analyst pricing. We can check this out really quick. Hood earnings. So yeah, they have 35 cents or 31 cents if you want it on a GAAP basis, which I do, and then 913 million, which I think is a little shy. So we're going to beat there in my opinion. EPS, it could probably get there. I just think that they said that they were going to be spending more for operations because of trade PMR and Bitstamp and these sort of things. So trying to price that in a little bit more conservatively, or else it would beat. But yeah, revenue I have absolutely crushing. As revenue increases, PE decreases? No. Revenue is top line. That's what they bring into the business in terms of just the cost of sales of like the goods and services that they're selling. So you have to look at a price to sales. Okay. Price to earnings, or PE, is how much flows down to the bottom line, how much they're making, net income. So as net income increases, PE decreases. Palantir going to 800 billion on World War III profits. Yeah, but I'm just not seeing it in the growth. Like, I don't know. I think that the valuation is going to get continuously extended as long as they can continue to keep speeding up the rate in which they're growing. Like we really haven't found a top for that, nor the margin that they're actually taking on that revenue. Whenever that top is found, I think that there will be a pullback. PEG factors in growth. That is true. So take a look at Palantir's PEG, and then tell me if that's incorporated with Palantir. I think they have like a 6 PEG or a 7 PEG last time I checked. It's pretty high. Up FinTech by Payush donated TIGR for the community fund, community portfolio. Thank you so much, Payush. I do appreciate the donations, brother. Thank you. Palantir is bottlenecking on purpose. Their sales teams in CSR staffing is limited. Everyone knows that. Yeah, but if their sales teams are limited and it's hard for them to grow at the pace that they want to grow at, why are people giving them a premium? It doesn't, like, supply and demand matters. If you can't supply the amount of demand that you have, your sales are still limited. So will it eventually come online and they grow at 100+% rates into the future? Then I would be very, very happy with Palantir. I'm not here to bash on Palantir, okay? But not just not going to take share. It's fine. Let's see here. It just got upgraded to 14. You talk about Up FinTech, 1131 right now. I mean, that's a good price. I'm happy with that. Thank you. Let's see if it works. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's we were talking about buy now, pay later recently. And I wonder if you guys want to get into this a little bit. There was a presentation that was put out from a firm like a week ago, and I started going through it. And I wonder if you guys want a video or some sort of presentation talking about the benefits of buy now, pay later, because a firm put out this pretty amazing presentation that pretty much just sums up what buy now, pay later helps versus credit cards and the ability to pay off expensive purchases at no hidden fees, and the cost of it, or potentially even the cost of what the merchant is willing to pay. Vlad Tenev just tweeted just a minute ago. Robinhood says on chain. He said on chain. So I wonder if Robinhood, the Robinhood chain, is going to be coming out here very shortly. That is their sort of Galileo-like product. If that's what Galileo is sort of a B2B product that enables other fintechs and other banks to get, the best pricing on services and stuff like this. What is Robinhood Chain? That's a B2B service that helps other fintechs get liquidity for tokenized assets. If they can potentially take a cut in that revenue stream from all the other big fintechs, love to have it. Would love to have it. Tesla earnings, really quick. Really quick on Tesla earnings. What did you guys think about this? The stock is down essentially 5% 4.4%. It was down 5% at one point. On this earnings, it seemed like Elon was extremely exhausted and not really wanting to be there. Talking about Grok at one point, talking about the Tesla diner before even talking about Robotaxi, or before even talking about Optimus. I was not impressed. In the words of Scott Davies here, bad, really bad. So what should we be doing with these shares here? You know, I don't hold any right now. I wanted to buy back in. Now I'm not even so sure. Like, Robotaxi is something that I do potentially want to have a little bit in, but I don't know, man. If Elon doesn't have the energy, it's going downhill. Could wait a year. Could wait a year to buy in, because if that's the case, then I'm going to wait a year. And I think that you might actually be right. What happens over the next year that would change the pricing? Would Robotaxi be that built out in a year where people are able to buy, or use their personal vehicle as a Robotaxi in 365 days? According to Elon, you can do this year. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I mean, they still have safety drivers, and they're putting LiDAR on their cards to validate new areas for them to expand in Austin. Seems like a stretch. So far, selling it has made me much, much richer. I sold it. I bought NVIDIA. Wow, did that work out? Will that continue to be the case going forward? Tesla is legit the most overpriced stock on the market. Palantir at least has real growth. Yeah, Tesla, I do think will have real growth. Humanoid robots are going to be very big. Robotaxi, like, these things are going to be big. It's just, when do they happen? You know, we used to say FSD, well, not we, but Bears used to say that FSD wasn't coming. And now you can order one that doesn't have someone in the driver's seat. Yes, there's a safety driver, but if you can't extrapolate out that safety driver will disappear eventually, I don't know. Like then you're being a little too bearish. That safety driver will disappear. They will have a market that's much larger than a car market going forward, but you're already spending $1 trillion. I don't know. Okay. I have FSD and it's incredibly amazing. Yeah, well, that's what you always hear, right? Is the product is there. It's absolutely real. Did we talk PayPal? Yes, James, we already did. I will make sure to put chapters, especially on this one, for people to go back and rewatch. We touched on a lot of things: Tesla, Google, NVIDIA, PayPal, SOFI, all these big names. So, yeah. Amazon, NVIDIA, Google, that's all we need. Casey, you could have a real That's very, very real. I'm not doubting that at all. I need more Amazon. That's true. And I need to make more content on Amazon because I think people need to see what they're working on. And it's not, Payush, you said, are you ready? PayPal tweet yesterday. PayPal World, that's what it was about. That's what it was about. So I don't think there's anything coming after that. But yeah, we were not ready. I was not ready. That was big news. Tanner, didn't you hear Tesla is now a cheeseburger company? They'll have cheeseburgers available nationwide delivered by a taxi or an Optimus so that doesn't burn out the rotors or actuaries. I didn't even know that that was part of the case, is that they want to get into food delivery. I guess that makes sense. Just thought that they were trying to improve the, like supercharging experience, potentially make some sales while they're there. If that's what they want to get into and get into like all the ghost kitchens and everything like this, I don't know. Seems meh. Good work, I guess. Amazon usually sells off after earnings. Will be a good time to add. Yeah, I don't really believe in those types of trading strategies. I see a thing that's undervalued, I buy. As the kids say, Tesla is cooked. As the things I say. I don't have to be a kid, Amazon CEO keeps selling. I don't know if that's true. Is Andy Jassy selling, or is it just Jeff Bezos that's selling? Because Jeff Bezos is not the CEO. Tesla will sell nothing burgers. Oh, man, that's awesome. Nothing burgers. Okay. The kids want Tesla to have full AI robots right now, but the fact is it'll take time to get there. From Tesla How To. If someone knew, it'd be you. No, I don't think that people are expecting it right now. It's just, I don't know if they think that there will be a better time to buy later on into the future. The problem is that the underlying car business right now that was holding them up, if you can say fundamentally, is just having an extremely hard time right now because of, political reasons, and then them also losing their incentives for both car and energy. And yeah, it's just, that's a sore spot as a Tesla investor, that like whenever Elon comes out and says, yeah, I mean, Q3, Q4, Q1, still going to be really rough, but after that, it's going to be good. It's like, oh my gosh, how many transition periods do we need to have? Like that was the last few years, Now we have only 3 more quarters? Yeah, right. The Tesla haters are out in bunches. I mean, brother, I was a shareholder for years. 2018. Okay. Love the cars, love everything. Truly explain to me the valuation. Truly explain to me a company that's one of the most expensive businesses, and they're like, a lot of their lines of revenue are going down, losing. Margins are not as good as they were before. It's not being a hate. I've said it so many times. I want to be a Tesla shareholder. Okay. It's just, it's not in the cards, man. That's the problem. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that's what we're going to call it at. 1 hour, 40 minutes. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate your time. I appreciate all the donations. Thank you to everyone that supported the channel, people that are coming back every single day. It's freaking amazing. If you guys haven't already, hit the like on the video, subscribe down below. That's what supports the channel. Makes me get up every day. Let's continue to make some more money as a group. I appreciate all your guys' recommendations and everything. It leads me to look into new companies that I usually would not. And hopefully I've provided some sort of service for you today. And that, yeah, very grateful. Bye for now.